Hey guys, so today we are going to be breaking down the kit for Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. This is a bit of a surprise release. They did sort of the Lineage of Evil campaign throughout August. It was about a 3-week-long mini campaign, I'll call it. And then at the end of the month, instead of giving us kind of like a follow-up Lineage of Evil character, we'd get Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And then they kind of did a weird thing with his reveal where they kind of showed the art initially from a social media campaign, and just a few minutes ago we finally got the official reveal of the character, the intro animation, his actual in-battle animations, and the ink art animation. So we are going to go ahead and jump into the breakdown for Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I do expect this guy, by the way, before we even do anything, I expect this character to be at minimum the third best character in the game. He's going to be right up there with Namek Goku, with Full Power Frieza, because that's just the way they treat Ultra characters. They always have made sure that Ultra characters have been the best of the best. So I expect that for Vegeta. If they want to break that trend here, fine. But I'm going into this expecting this character to be, if not just straight up the best character in the game, he's going to be right up there next to Frieza and Namek Goku. But before we do that, we have a word from today's video partner, NordVPN. Cybersecurity has become a major topic of interest in the modern era, with the main types of threats being things like phishing, password attacks, DDoSing, ransomware, and general malware, among many others. I very frequently receive emails like the one you're seeing on your screen right now, which try and entice you to click on whatever links they send you in order to gain unauthorized access to your personal information. In this case, the sender appears to be sending me an official alert from YouTube indicating that my channel has received a strike, and I need to click on the link shared to me in order to confirm this information. When looking at this upon first glance, it seems legit, but it's not. This is where NordVPN comes in. Instead of your IP address being exposed to potential hackers, NordVPN can mask your IP address so that any potential DDoS or other hacking attempts could instead be absorbed by Nord's VPN servers instead. It's like an actually effective defense type character in Dragon Ball Legends. So basically, not Metal Cooler. You can use my exclusive URL to check out some of the services that NordVPN can offer you in the description box and pinned comment below. In addition, you'll also be eligible to receive a bonus if you sign up for Nord services by using my link, nordvpn.com/Goresh. That's nordvpn.com/Goresh. Once again, visit nordvpn.com/Goresh in order to get an exclusive NordVPN deal. It's risk-free and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we are working with Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. This super high-powered attacker. Perfect, yes. This is what we needed. So many matches go to timer. If you play Proud, and I've actually been playing Proud this season, just because I want to finish a lot of the missions and stock up on some Proud coins. I really do not like Proud. I really don't like Proud. But Proud, essentially, you go into every single match in Proud assuming that every single match is going to timer. Like, you just go in and you're like rushing like endurance characters. You're just essentially rushing as soon as you get the rush to hopefully maybe get your second rush. Like, you assume every single match goes to timer because you just cannot kill the opponent's teams ever. It's impossible. So the fact that this guy is an offensive-based character, I think, is actually very good because that's really what we needed. Has the new switch attack ability. Okay, so let's go through his strengths here. So number 1, new switch attack ability. Switch this character in during an ally's strike or blast arts combo to activate a special animation and deal big damage. It even nullifies element disadvantages. So that's just something that activates every single time you enter the battlefield with this Vegeta during a combo. Is he'll just enter and he'll just do damage. Okay, sure. I mean, it's more damage. I think just doing more damage at this point in the game is much needed just because of how, I think, timer county and defensive the meta is right now. Set your sights on an enemy and go for the KO. Your opponent can't cover change when a switch attack activates. Finish off enemies with low health. Okay, so they can't cover change when a switch attack... So you can kind of use that as a snipe. Your opponent can't cover change when a switch attack activates. Huh. Interesting. So we don't really have something similar to that. I guess it's kind of like the time skip? where like if you combo somebody with a strike card and you combo that into the time skip, the opponent can't like the cover change into the time skip. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. But yeah, this is definitely an ability where I'm gonna have to see how much damage it does before I can say like, oh dude, this is crazy. Like, I don't know. Unique gauge swaps between 2 types. The unique gauge starts as time type, then switches to release type when it fills up. Each time it does, you'll gain another use of switch attack. Oh, it's actually limited. Okay, switch attack is limited. Number 4, high attack power while unique gauge is release type. While the unique gauge is release type, activating a special move or ultimate arts will boost that art's damage by 70%. Wow. Plus, using a card will restore ki, boost your damage, and draw you another card. Harness the power of the Great Ape to reach Super Saiyan 4 and overwhelm your opponents. He is red. That's a good pick. That is a great color for this character. Of course, he's Vegeta Clan, Saiyan, and GT, and he's from Shadow Dragon Saga. The reason why red is good, I thought there were 3 possibilities for this character. It was either going to be blue, purple, or red. If this guy was blue or purple, he would have type disadvantage in the matchup at some point versus the Frieza Saga team with Namek Goku, of course, type advantage over purple, and then full power Frieza type advantage over blue. Because this Vegeta's red, that is the best case scenario for this Vegeta, because he's got type advantage over Namek Goku, and he doesn't have type disadvantage against either of these Ultra characters. So that is very good. I'm not sure what... We can take a look at his Z ability here, actually. Okay, it looks like he's a blast character. 42% of blast attack and strike defense. Usually you can tell from the Z ability, whatever offensive stat they're buffing with the Z ability typically is the type of character they are. So it looks like he's a ranged character. So I'm actually going to pull up full power. I was waiting to see which he was going to be, a melee or a ranged type character. I'm going to pull up full power Frieza as a reference. This is the most recent Ultra alongside Namek Goku. So we can kind of use the numbers here as a direct comparison to Vegeta. All right, Ultra ability, of course, is the same. I mean, this is literally never changed. The only every summon of Ultra has the same Ultra ability. Like 30% damage and ki recovery. It just doesn't matter as much as it did back in the day. I wonder if they're gonna ever change this. Strike, blast armor, so charge without fear of enemy blasts. Boost your strike damage and activation. Really? 20% strike damage on activation. And then the same thing with blast. Blast has 20% blast damage. That's not nothing. 20%? Because like if you just spam this, you can stack up like 60% damage if you go like 3 blasts in a row. Okay. Blue card. While the unique gauge is release type, you'll get a total boost of 70% to special move damage. So this is massive. Unique gauge plus 10%, special move damage plus 40%, and critical rate plus 30% on activation. If unique gauge is release type, he gets 30% more special move damage, and then all enemies' health restoration minus 50% is pretty good. Okay, and then the green card. Land this special arts to draw up to 2 cards and nullify special cover changes. They didn't show this, I don't think, but this is a melee green. I was very, very nervous here for a second. I thought this might have been an AoE green, but no, it is a melee green. Okay, that's fine. Blast arm when charging forward. So on activation, he gets 30 ki, 15% unique gauge, 30% damage. Cancels attribute downgrade / normal conditions. And then on hit, he's drawing 2 cards if hand has 3 or fewer, and getting cover null for 5 counts, and then it is comboable. Getting basically like a half of a full hand is pretty powerful on this. I'm not sure how good the 15% unique gauge is yet, but this is actually really good. On activation, you cancel all these downgrades, because the one thing the Frieza Saga team is very, very good at is increasing your cost. Right, Krillin's increasing your cost, full power Frieza's increasing your cost. Like, cost up on that team is really annoying, so the fact that you can just kind of like wipe away those cost increase debuffs is pretty good on this. Ultimate, while the unique gauge is release type, you'll get a total boost of 70% ultimate damage. His ultimate arts will even nullify unfavorable element factors. Okay, supreme damage on activation, 40% ultimate damage, critical rate plus 30%. He's getting some critical rate buffs here. You got some on the blue as well. Yeah. Critical rate. And then nullify endurance. Also, if unique gauge is release type, ultimate damage plus 30%, and then type neutral, which is cancelable. Sounds good though. I mean, this guy's red, so I mean, There's really no like super mega scary blue character. I mean, who like UI Goku is it? Next release, I'm kind of looking at like purple and blue to kind of do something because purple's been dead forever. But at this point, blue is kind of like also not very good. So he goes type neutral on the ult. Like, what are you going type neutral against? And this is like, they did the same thing with like Kefla, right? Where Kefla goes type neutral against like a Goku, but we're still waiting for like the purple and blue characters. So, okay. Kind of meaningless right now, I think, but I think it'll get value later on. Main ability, reduce your opponent's Dragon Balls by 3. Okay, that is insane and proud, by the way. Destroy one card, then draw Ultimate Arts next. So he actually frees up a slot in his hand that is similar to Namek Goku. 10% health is... Oh, okay, I see. He's healing the whole team. Okay. I was going to say 10% health is low. 10% health, 50 ki, and then he's healing the whole team by 20%. Cancel ally attribute downgrade / normal conditions, and then enemy Dragon Balls -3. Dude, that is crazy. Have we ever seen that on a main ability? 3 is a lot. We've seen 2. I don't think have we ever seen 3? That's pretty crazy. All right, starter ability. Vegeta's sub counts on Switch are reduced by 2, so you can quickly bring this character back out after returning to standby. Vegeta even has endurance. Of course he does. Why not? You know why? He's an Ultra. That's why. That's why he's got endurance. 300% damage, 210% damage guard. So they actually are bringing it up from full power Frieza here. Key recovery 70%, draw speed +1, sub counts on Switch -2, and then they gave him the full power Frieza recovery of 50%. This is not something they typically do. They gave full power Frieza 50% HP recovery on endurance. I did talk about that in full power Frieza's breakdown video because that's something they never do that. So they're also doing that for Vegeta. And full power Frieza, by the way, gets 50% key recovery. Vegeta gets 70. So it looks like we are slowly even further increasing the numbers here. 210% immediately for damage guard, more key recovery. This sub count on Switch -2, of course, is going to synergize very well, seemingly, with the Switch attack mechanic. All right, unique ability. The new Switch attack ability lets you switch with an ally, deal damage, and continue the combo. Cover changes can't be performed during a Switch attack, so you'll be able to defeat enemies in one go. When allies enter the battlefield, the unique gauge will charge and Vegeta will get a boost to damage for the next arts you activate up to 100%. Okay, on battlefield entry, draw one card if hand has 3 or fewer. Health plus 10%, okay, so he's healing every time he enters. 50 key on entry. That is a lot. Does Frieza get 50 key on entry? Yeah, he actually does. Okay. Yeah, that's, again, that's because he's an Ultra. Nullify special cover changes for 5 counts. Nullify damage received element Dude, why are they giving this guy so much neutral? He has neutral defensively here. They said his Switch attack has neutral damage on it. His ultimate has him do neutral damage. Like, what? Are they about to drop like some monster blue character? Like, there are no blues right now. Destroy one enemy card. Also, if there is a defeated battle member, unique gauge charge rate plus 50%. On ally battlefield entry, unique gauge plus 5%. Next activated arts damage plus 20%. Up to 100%. On ally battlefield entry. That counts himself, right? So you switch between the other 2 allies 4 times. That gets you to 80% arts damage. And then when Vegeta enters, he's getting this up to 100. And then I guess arts damage won't count the Switch attack. The Switch attack is not an arts attack. Because I'm thinking maybe you could like charge up the power of the Switch attack. This is just going to... Dude, this is crazy because it says arts damage. That includes blues and ultimates. You could power up your ultimate by 100% arts damage on top of this. So technically you could have 70% ultimate damage And then 100% extra arts damage on top of that. And then critical rate. Oh my god. Okay. When hit by enemies' arts, unique gauge plus 10%, ally sub counts minus 1. Okay, so he's just permanently reducing ally sub counts every single time he gets hit. Seal enemy card slot. Oh boy, we're doing this again, huh? Welcome back, Daima Goku. And then that's going to reset. All enemy arts costs plus 10. That's Beast. Right, isn't that just Beast? Cost. Yeah, it's the same thing as Beast. You know why this is just... It's just better than, like, I was gonna say, like, oh, UI Goku has the same thing, but it's actually better than UI Goku's ability. The reason why? Can you guys see the difference here? Enemy arts cost plus 10 for 5 counts. All enemy. All enemies. That's the difference between Beast's ability and UI's ability, and now Vegeta has the Beast version. So even if you switch out to a different character, they're still going to have the massive arts cost debuff. This is one of the things that made Beast Gohan so annoying to deal with when he first dropped, is the arts cost debuff stacking. You just couldn't get rid of it. And we were like, dude, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is crazy. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is crazy. They can just circumvent the arts cost debuff. And that was like a huge factor back then. So that's a really powerful ability. When on battlefield, an enemy activates special move, Ultimate Awaken Arts, or Rising Rush, cancels buff effects. Why not, dude? Again, this is because he's an Ultra, he has this. That's it. That's the only reason he has that, is because he's an Ultra character. On ally cover change, health plus 5%, damage plus 20%. So when an ally cover changes, it doesn't even have to be... So even if Vegeta himself cover changes, he's healing himself by 5% and giving himself 20% damage. But even if it's not Vegeta, if it's like, I don't know, Namek Goku cover changes, Vegeta's still healing himself and getting more damage. On switch attack activation, deals major damage to enemy. Good to know that this is impact damage. We do have characters in the game that specifically reduce damage received from impact damage. Nullify element disadvantages, so this is type neutral damage. Cancel attribute downgrade such normal conditions, and then ally subcounts -2. This doesn't say it's limited to a certain amount of time. Maybe they're going to mention it later. Special cover change against blasts. Yeah, we know this. No, it doesn't say, huh? Didn't they say it's limited? Hold on. Didn't they say switch attack is limited? Let me just scroll back up to the top, because I'm pretty sure they said that somewhere, didn't they? Yeah, we know this. Each time it does, you'll gain another use of switch attack. I'm not sure what that means. Let's look at the unique gauge, I guess. The unique gauge starts as a time type, then switches to release type when it becomes full. When that happens, you'll gain a use of switch attack. Oh, okay. I see. So it's actually tied to the unique gauge. It's not just something that's tied to here. I get it now. Using cards while the unique gauge is release type will boost your damage and draw you a card. Unleash incredible offensive power. Okay, so time type. Starts as time type, starts with 40% charge. Okay, let me just take a look. When unique gauge, time type, gradually. That sounds like Ultra Hit. Is that the same as Ultra Hit's wording? Gradually, yeah. So this Vegeta has the same charge rate for his unique gauge as Ultra Hit while it's time type. Which is not very quick, but he's got ways to fill up the unique gauge here. So let me just quickly go through that real fast. He gets 10% unique gauge on his blue card. Let me just scroll through this. Gets 15% of his unique gauge on the green card, on just the activation. So even if he misses the green, let's say in melee range, you like wait for your opponent to jump, and then you press the green card, you're still going to get your unique gauge filled up there. Is that it? Yeah, that's it, actually. Oh, no, actually, he gets 5%. No, never mind. Oh, my. Wait. Whoa. Okay, never mind. He gets a lot of different places to get unique gauge. This is something that only happens when you have a dead ally. I'm not sure how, you know, this is going to be something that, like, you're not playing around this. Like, this is just something that just naturally is going to happen eventually. This is crazy. When hit by enemies' arts, he's just getting 10% of his unique gauge. So that's a really good way to fill it up. And then on ally battlefield entry, this guy has different ways of lowering subcounts for himself and the allies. So this is going to be good. Yeah, okay. So it fills up slowly, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that tough to get because of how many times he has mechanics that actually help him fill the gauge up. Okay, so when unique gauge becomes full, switch to release type, 15% health, nullify combo breaking actions. He has the Vegeta blue mechanic. Wow. That is the green transforming Vegeta blue mechanic. How relevant is that? How relevant is that Vegeta blue mechanic? Because, like, none of the anniversary characters have an auto counter. I mean, I guess on occasion you'll run into Majin. Dude, Majin Vegeta is going to get assassinated by the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Red and has the Vegeta blue mechanic. Goodbye, Majin Vegeta. You thought Majin Vegeta's going to age well? I mean, he has aged well, but I mean, dude, he's gone now. He's out of there. I mean, eventually we're going to get a unique equip for Ultra Gogeta Blue, probably during Festival. He's got an auto counter. If we end up getting maybe like a platinum equipment for Gohan, I mean, there's not really Jackie Chun, dude. Like the Jackie Chun who's terrorizing the game. Yeah, I mean, there's no one who really has an auto counter. You know what this character makes me think of? It makes me think we're about to get some like monster blue character that has an auto counter. That's like the only way this makes sense. 10 counts of card protection. Sub counts -5, and then switch attacks available +1. This, by the way, this time type fills up even when he's on standby. So you could get this, right? You could get this when he's on standby. And then when he's on standby, he's going to be lowering his own sub count by 5. So you could enter the battlefield with Vegeta, you could combo for a little bit, switch out with Vegeta, and then while he's switched out, if you get this time type gauge filled up, he'll reduce his own sub count to swap back in and use the switch attack. That's going to be impossible. That's going to be impossible. If you're the opponent, you're not going to be able to keep track of it. There's no way you're going to be able to keep track of that. There's just way too much sub count manipulation, right? You have this, and then he's also lowering his own sub counts here. And then he's lowering his sub counts here. And then I believe it was it, we have this too, just -2 in general. So yeah. Release type on arts use. Wait, so he's just every single time. Okay. So every single time he's in release type and he uses a card, he draws a card. And getting 30 key. And he's got hand protection. And he's got the Vegeta blue mechanic. And he's stacking damage. And he's getting his vanish back. Release type. Very slowly. Oh, okay. I was gonna say the game is over. I was gonna say, okay, this makes, dude, people are gonna like not read this last, like they're gonna read everything and they're not gonna read this last line and they're gonna be like super confused. This makes sense. So his his release type gauge decreases by 30% every time you use a striker or blast while it's up. Okay, that makes it a little bit more understandable. I was just like, what the hell is that? This is insane, man. But this makes more sense. Okay. Crisis averted. The game is still okay. I guess. Okay in quotation marks. But then, like, you deplete the release type gauge, and then you just go back to the time type gauge, and you start stacking that back up again, right? You go back to the time type gauge, you start using blues and greens and switching and getting your gauge filled up. Like, it's just, I see where they're going with the character. I do. He seems really good. Is he better than full power Frieza? I want to see what the switch attack actually looks like in game. I could easily see this guy being the new #1 character. I could easily see it. He's got endurance. He's got buff removal. That's basically what full power Frieza's got. Obviously, full power Frieza has the ridiculous active gauge, but this guy's got I think this guy probably has just like a better unique gauge. Right, Frieza's unique gauge and active gauge are kind of like symbiotic with each other. They kind of feed off of each other. This guy doesn't have an active gauge, but his unique gauge kind of working similarly to Frieza's active plus unique gauge combo, because it's basically two separate unique gauges together. That is, it's a very powerful. The time type plus the release type gauge together, and then he's got good damage guard, 210% on entry. I mean that's just solid. He's got sub countdown. He's got really good key recovery. I think he looks pretty good, and he's increasing his unique gauge every time he gets hit too. So, yeah. This also, by the way, don't underrate this. Next activated arts damage plus up to 100%, and you could just feed that into the blue. You could feed that into the ultimate, because these are arts cards, right? So, yeah. And don't forget he's stacking damage here too. Oh my god, this damage stacking during the release type gauge. Yeah, this is the type of character the game needed. Like, we didn't need, like, super mega defense type with, I mean, well, this guy does have defensive mechanics, but we didn't need, like, another ultra super Vegeta type character where he comes in, ends the combo, and he's got, like, super mega bulk. Like, that's not what we needed here. This Vegeta, I think, actually really does have the potential to change the game for the better. And I think he's going to be doing a lot of damage. He's going to be a super powerful offensive force. And this is a good start to buffing the GT team. So there we go. I think he looks very good. What we were expecting from an Ultra character, because when it comes to the new design philosophy, as long as the character's an Ultra, they don't care. So let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll be live tomorrow once maintenance is over to do the summons, showcases, and all that good stuff. I will be doing a breakdown probably before maintenance ends, just from data mines, just because I don't want to wait until the maintenance goes away. We are going to have an app update, so whatever stuff we get data mined before the actual maintenance is over, I will also do a video about. I'll see you guys then.